Hi.
Mm. Hello, Khoi. How are
Hello.
you?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good too. Have you eaten your dinner already?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, very good. Okay. So since you've eaten your dinner, so that means you're strong enough. Strong enough for our lesson today, okay? You do
Yes.
have a lot of I guess you do have a lot of homework.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, in preparation for tomorrow's class. Do you have class tomorrow?
What?
Do you have class tomorrow?
Yes, I have.
What time? What time it
At
starts?
7 a.m.
Until
until 11:30 a.m.
okay. So that's going to be half day only. Oh, that would be good. Okay, so let's proceed now so that we can be able to have a lot of things in here, Koi. I hope you can see the presentation, Koi. Can you see it? Can you see it, Koi?
I see.
Yeah, okay. So today is February 26th, and today is Sunday. And it's the continuation of our lesson yesterday, right? So we
Yes.
were able to discuss all about the, okay, the so-called, all about what, Koi? Can you tell me more about that one? Okay, the types or the type of function that speakers use in its conversation. And we know that when we say um, type of functions, what are those? We call
Mm,
that one functions. We call that
complaining, inquiring,
saying,
proposing, pursuing, and
saying,
proceeding.
yeah, and others, etc. Okay, like requesting, agreeing, disagreeing, and advising. Now, what do you think would be the importance of using these functions? What do you think? Why do we need to use them?
Because we have to erase the content of each conversation.
Yes, okay, especially in IELTS. Okay, but if we have this particular in our daily lives, actually, we can also use them, right, Koi? Actually, we can use that. Let's say, for example, if we are conversing, I can say that, oh, Koi is complaining, right? Koi is inquiring. Koi is
Yes.
proposing. Yeah, because the way you what? The way you speak. So through your voice or through the function, yeah, through your voice, through the intonation, the tone of your voice, I could say that that particular function that you are saying, right?
Okay.
So that's why it's very important, especially in an IELTS exam, because there would be questions like this. Okay. And we also heard about particular matching questions that you can hear the conversation. Then after that, you have to answer. Okay. There would be four choices, but there would only be one correct answer. But the the audio presentation is going to be it's going to be long, but
Yes.
only one will be the correct answer. So there would be the so-called skills on how to do this one. Okay?
Okay.
So shall we continue now? So
Yes,
let's
let's
try to
continue.
listen to the students' discussion about the costs and match the costs with A to F with the solutions 1 to 4. There are two more costs than you need. So that means we can also use two or more costs over here. Okay, let's try to listen. That would be 34. Okay.
Track 34.
I've got the details on the cost of each of these projects. The tram system comes out as the costliest.
Mhm.
It would cost over £20 million just to prepare the route and to lay the lines down, including widening the roads. Then there's the cost of buying the trams themselves and organizing the system.
And
Okay. So we have heard that one already, Khoi, right? So you have heard how much would be the costs.
Yes.
How much is the cost for the tram transport system, huh? They're talking about the tram transport system. So the cost is
The cost is 20.
20. Are you sure? Okay, let's listen again.
Just yes.
track 34.
I've got the details on the cost of each of these projects. The tram system comes out as the costliest. It would cost over £20 million just to prepare the
Okay, what's your answer again?
Over 20 million pounds.
Yes. So the correct answer is letter,
C.
okay, letter C. But let's try to hear again, huh?
What?
Let's continue hearing. We're not yet done.
route and to lay the lines down, including widening the roads. Then there's the cost of buying the trams themselves and organizing the system.
And what does it all come to?
No less than £30 million in the end. At least that's what they need.
Okay.
Also, that's the
What's
reason why I
what's
can hear on
yes.
YouTube.
Why I repeat that one?
Yes.
Because that 20 billion is a distractor.
Yeah, it's trying to
Right? And at the end, what she said?
turn 30 million pounds.
Yes.
My
So the
gosh.
correct answer is letter F. See?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why you should have to listen carefully with the audio because sometimes, yeah, there would be a distractor. Okay, let's continue, Koi.
To try to keep the cost down to.
£30 million? That does seem a lot. I thought it was closer to 25 million, but clearly it isn't. And what about the cheapest?
Well, it seems that it'd be either the bus and cycle lanes plan or the park and ride scheme.
So the
At the
second.
moment, it looks like the bus and cycle lanes might be the least expensive overall. The changes wouldn't be so large. They estimate around £8 million to set up the signs, paint the roads, and so on, and at least another £2 million or so to make other changes.
So you're saying it's around £10 million?
Yes.
That seems quite reasonable.
Okay. Have you heard that?
Around 10 million pounds for
Yes.
all
Okay, but
things.
but first, they will the girl mentioned about it's all about 8 million, right? And then there's an additional for the paint for something like that. So the total would be $10 million, £1 million. Let's continue.
What about the park and ride scheme?
Number
Well,
6,
there are
park and
sites
ride.
which have been identified for development to build the car parks, and as they're not in the centre, it won't cost too much to buy them, probably around £5 million. Then they just need to lay out the car parks and put in bus shelters, which should be around £6 or £7 million, and then get the buses. If they rent them, they could keep the cost down to around £3 million.
So, if I'm right, that comes to around £15 million for the park and ride in total. And then there's the pedestrian and one-way system. How does that work out?
That's the second highest.
Okay. So how much
Okay.
is it?
15 pounds.
Yes. So they come up with £15. So that would be letter B. Okay. Next, let's continue.
We'd have to reroute all the traffic while the works are done, then change the roads along the routes to make it safer for cyclists, which is around £12 million. Then there are the new signs and so on, which comes to about £5 million, and also the road painting and maintenance, at around £8 million.
So that's around £23 million. We might be able to manage that.
Actually, that's £25 million, Robert.
So it is. My mistake. Maths was never my strong point.
Okay, so how much?
So the final answer is 23 million.
Actually, Max got a wrong computation, and the girl said it's 25 million pounds.
Okay,
So that
35.
would be letter
Also,
E,
yes.
yes. Because
Yes.
at the end, the girl corrected Max. According to her, oh, it's about 25 million, Max. Okay, actually, Max computed this 23 million, right? But at the end, it was computed by the girl 25 million. So that would be letter E. Okay? Okay. So let's move on. Actually, with this particular exercise in here, Koi, it's just easy for you to identify, right? That the question or this particular thing, there are two more costs than you need. That means in that particular conversation, it mentioned a lot, more than two costs. Okay, but you need to listen very carefully because towards the end,
Yes.
they total that one, right? So sometimes they make us fool. Okay, next. Listen to the discussion of the likely benefits of its proposal and match the proposals from A to D with the benefits. So these are all benefits again from 1 to 5. So there are fewer proposals A to D than benefits because there are only 4, right? Proposals. So letters may be used more than one. So what does it mean?
So it can suitable for more than two answer.
Yes. So there would be one benefits in there that needs to answer. Okay, let's try to listen now.
Track 35.
So we've discussed the negative aspects and costs of these proposals, but now I'd like to look at the real benefits which we think each proposal will bring.
Well, I really think that one of the most important benefits is better public transport. The most important thing is to get more people out of their cars and onto public transport.
Well, 3 of the proposals would help with that: park and ride, bus and cycle only routes, and the new tram system. Which do you think would be the best out of those 3?
I think the bus and cycle routes would be great for town centre transport, but they might push car traffic further out and make it more difficult for buses outside the centre. That leads me to think that the tram system would actually improve public transport the most, even though it's the most expensive, as there will be a new form of transport in the centre without affecting other parts of town.
I think you have a good point there. I agree that in the long term, it would be the best thing. Do you think that proposal would also increase the amount of visitors and
Okay, let's stop in there. So it was already mentioned, the answer already mentioned. So what do you think would be the best proposal?
1B.
It's letter,
B.
again, B.
Yes.
Actually, the correct answer, Koi,
Letter C.
is letter
Oh,
D.
just that.
Yes. Why? Because it was agreed. Actually, they mention all of the proposals. Okay? They mention, but they come up with the best one. And they come up with the letter D, which is the tram transport system. Okay, why? Better public transport. So it's tram, right? You know what's a tram? You know what's
Hmm.
a tram? Okay,
Yes.
In London, they call tram as they call train
Station.
as tram. Train station.
Oh,
Train.
train. So it
Yeah,
means
it's a
train. Oh,
train. So a
oh.
train is tram. Okay?
Yes.
In London, they call that one as tram. Okay, next, let's continue for more visitors.
town?
Well, of course, any of the solutions would do that, but I'm not sure if the tram system would be the best. What do you think?
I think the park and ride would be better than the tram system for that. The trams would help people who are already in town, but a park and ride would bring more of them in from outside.
So you think the park and ride would bring most visitors in?
Actually, I think if people know that they can get around the center more easily, do their shopping and so on, they would come in more. So perhaps the pedestrian area and one-way system would be best in that respect.
True. I've seen other town centres become really busy when they've put in pedestrian areas. So that's clearly the best way of bringing visitors in. So we agree on that then.
And I think that people's health will improve as well, as they will be walking around.
Okay, let's stop. It was mentioned na there. It was mentioned the answer. So what do you think, Khoi? So they come up with
Let us see.
correct. Wow, you were able to understand that. Okay, let's continue for the better health now.
Around the pedestrian area rather than driving around town.
Up to a point, yes, but I'm sure you'd agree that encouraging people to do more cycling would help their health far more.
Of course. Creating bus and cycle-only routes would be the best way of getting people to exercise. It would also help reduce pollution, so even the people who don't cycle will breathe cleaner air.
And we agree that producing less pollution is a really important part of this scheme, though I think that the park and ride would be better at doing that than the bus and cycle only routes.
I'm not sure. Lots of people would need to use the park and ride to help reduce pollution. Bus and cycle-only routes keep cars out of the centre.
Yes, but if people are encouraged to use park and ride more, it would produce the best results. There would be far fewer cars in the centre and the air would be much cleaner.
Yes, that's true, but that's a lot of work for the council. Okay, we'll agree on a park and ride then. What about safety?
Mm. So what do you think?
4B.
In number 3,
3B. 3B.
okay, that would be B. Correct. Okay. What about, okay. Oh, it was mentioned already, less population and congestion, right? So, what's your answer for number 4? It was already mentioned.
Letter B, right? Letter B.
No, in number 3, that's letter
A.
B.
Letter A.
Yes. So number 4 is they agreed for the park and
Yes, I did
ride.
have score.
Yes. Okay. And definitely, what do you think would be the last one?
I'd say the bus and cycle routes would be the best from that point of view.
Probably. I think I agree with you on that.
Okay then, so we agree on safety.
Actually, no. When I think about it, you have to take pedestrians into account as well. It's safer for cyclists when there are no cars around, but I'm not sure that it's safer for pedestrians. They still have to avoid cyclists, who don't always pay attention to pedestrians. So I really think the pedestrian area and one-way system would be safer for them. Cyclists won't be allowed in the pedestrian areas, so there will only be people walking.
Yes, you have a point there. Shall we change that then?
OK, I'm glad you agree. So that's all done then. We have all our recommendations.
Okay. So what
Let's
do
see.
they agree? Yes. Very good. Oh, you use your what is one? You use your skills in listening, huh? Good. Okay.
Okay.
That would be correct. Okay, good, Koi. Now, there's a tip in here, huh? In listening tests, there are not always the same number of questions, okay? And options, numbers, question, that would be numbers, and options, that would be letters, like this one, right? So, uh, number of questions can be a number, right? And then options can be letters like this. Okay, Koi? Sometimes there are fewer options than questions. Like this, right? So these are the question, but there are only fewer options.
Yes.
So you will need to choose the same option more than once, just like what we did. Sometimes there are fewer questions than options. If that would be the case, actually, that would be hard for us or for you to identify if there are what? There are fewer questions, but there are many options. So that would be hard to understand. Okay, Koi? So that would be the tip for that one. Okay, next. How are we going to identify different functions again? Okay, so we are going to use again the skills that we had learned, huh? So we have here additional information, not just only proposing, suggesting. So when we say proposing, suggesting, sometimes it also be the same, right? That's why it's proposing slash suggesting. Approving, that means also accepting. Expressing doubt, that means you are also you have reservations. Complaining, disagreeing, persuading, and correcting. So Sophie and Robert use functions A to G. Listen to the extracts from their conversations and write the function used in each. There is one more function that you need or than you need. Okay,
Mm.
let's listen. There would be a lot. Um, there are only 6 questions, but there were 7 answers. Okay.
Okay.
Now the question is, there is one more function than you did. In listening, sometimes you may hear that one that's proposing, and there is also approving.
Mhm.
So you will going to sometimes you will be confused which would be the correct one. So therefore you should have to use the what is one what is that skills analyzation technique, Koi. So you have to analyze very carefully. Okay, let's listen now.
Track 36. 1.
Actually, Robert, that's not quite right.
2.
Okay, actually, Robert, that's right. So what do you think would be that one?
Correcting.
Are you sure?
Mm, disagreeing.
Correct. Okay. So she is not agreeing. So she is
No, no, no. I
this.
say see. I say correcting.
Okay. But the correct
So,
answer is disagreeing, Koi.
yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So disagreeing because she disagrees. She doesn't approve it. Okay. Next. Let's listen.
I think you have a good point there.
Mm, I think you have a good point there. So what
Mm,
do you think is that?
approving, accepting,
Correct. Approving. Very good, huh? Approving or accepting.
accepting.
Next. Approving. Okay, next. Listen.
3.
On the face of it, yes, but in actual fact, it can make things worse.
Mm.
Mm.
So what do you think would be that one?
I think it's reservation,
No.
correcting.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. Correcting. Okay. Next. Let's try to listen to extract number 4.
4.
What about the second one? A park and ride scheme?
Mm. What about?
Complaining.
That is no. What about the park and scheme? Koi. It's easy. What
Yeah.
about if I am going to say, oh, Koi, what about can we use this one? So what
Um. Proposing.
no, yeah, proposing or suggesting, right? Yeah, because you are telling something, you are proposing something, or you are suggesting something. Okay, good. Next, extract number 5.
5.
Up to a point, yes. But I'm sure you'd agree that encouraging people to do more cycling would help health far more.
Mm. So what do you mean by that?
My gosh. I get it's pursuing.
Correct.
Okay.
Persuading. Okay. Wow, huh? Oh, you have to take note of that, Khoi, huh?
Yes.
Next. The last one.
6,
I'm not sure about that. Statistics show that the worst place is by the town hall.
Mhm. I'm not sure about that. The safe place is in the town hall.
Pressing down.
Correct. Okay, see? Wow, oh, good job, huh? So expressing doubt because she's not actually sure of that. So
Yes.
that would also be showing reservations.
Mm.
Okay, very good, huh? Oh, that would be right, correct, Tokoi. Okay, next. Listen to Jane and Bill, who are discussing the result of a survey about changes to their town. Ashtown over the last 25 years and choose the correct answers A, B, or C. Okay, let's try to listen to track number 37.
track 37.
I'm listening so much.
Have you got the
Yeah.
results from the survey we did? About the changes that have been made to Ashtown in the last 25 years, Bill?
Yes, Jane, and there've been a lot of changes. Some of them people are happy about, and some of them they aren't.
What, for example?
Well, for example, the bus system used to be much better. And even though the old, uncomfortable buses have been replaced with new, stylish ones, fewer people use them.
Why is that?
A lot of people think it's because fares are higher, but that isn't true. In fact, the cost compared to average salaries is pretty much the same as 25 years ago. The fact is that the buses now just go to the most popular destinations, and as the city centre no longer allows vehicles, there are even fewer places where buses can go.
Most people must be happy with fewer cars in the town centre, though.
I'm not so sure. 5 years ago, a bypass was supposed to be built so that people could easily get from one side of the town to the other without going into the centre, but those plans still haven't happened. The biggest success, in my opinion, is the building of areas for cyclists. Far more people are travelling by bike and using the facilities than anybody could have imagined.
That's all very interesting, but how have the jobs that people do in the city changed? That's sure to have had an impact on what the town looks like.
You're not wrong there. The town used to be a lot more polluted due to all of the products that were made in factories here. Manufacturing is still important, of course, and services such as accountancy firms and website developers employ a lot of people in the town, but you only have to see the number of universities and colleges that have opened in the town in the last 25 years to see that is where most of the jobs are now.
Okay, now shall we have a look at how some of the buildings have changed?
I think that, first of all, we should look at how the railway station has changed. As there are now fewer buses, more people drive to the railway station to take a train. 25 years ago, the car park was much smaller, and although it might not look very modern, most of the spaces have only been there for 5 years.
Oh, yes. Didn't the cinema used to be quite near the railway station? I suppose they built more spaces when they knocked it down.
That's right. The Grand Cinema used to be next to the railway station, but they rebuilt one exactly the same as the old one over in King Street.
What about the indoor market? My mum says there used to be an outdoor one, but that closed down a long time ago.
Yes, and when the outdoor market closed down, the indoor market became a lot more popular. 10 years ago, it looked like it would close down too, as the building was really old and it had become dangerous. It used to be owned by the council, but a private business bought it and made the changes so that it could stay open.
It's good to see it's so popular still, despite all the new supermarkets in town.
Hmm.
I bet the library isn't as popular as it used to be, though.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people still use the library. Most people think that people are less keen on borrowing books than in the past, but the library has adapted to changes. It's true that fewer people go in there to borrow books, but since they made tablets and computers available, more people have started visiting it. It has really fast Wi-Fi too, so people like it because of that.
Quite a few of the factories have closed down or been sold in the last 25 years, though. So what happened to all the buildings that used to house them? I suppose they're all shut down now?
Some of them have been demolished and some have been converted for other uses, but that isn't surprising. The thing that I found surprising was that although education has become more important to the economy of the town, there isn't an art college anymore. In fact, the art college is now used as a doctor's surgery.
Oh, really? Anyway, I think we need to look at how we're going to present these findings to...
Okay. So it's going to be long, actually, Koi, right? But the most important thing that if you heard about these things on the start, about the opinions of Bill, that why are there fewer business in Ashtown, so you can be able to answer this. So what do you think would be your answer? What's the reason or the opinion of Bill why there are fewer business in Ashtown? It's
Because the fall has gone up too much.
because the fares have gone too much.
Yes.
Actually, the correct answer is
The C.
there are not so much routes.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, next. Number 2. What change does Bill think has benefited the town center the most? A. Construction of bypass, the development of cycle paths, or the banning of cars from certain areas.
B.
Again?
Letter A.
Oh. What's your sure answer? Is it A or B?
Letter A.
Your sure answer?
Yes.
Actually, it's letter B.
Oh, okay. I'm just seeing
The
the word.
development of cycle paths.
Actually,
Why? Look at
said-
this, so many routes. Oh, when we are talking about routes, actually, Koi, we're talking about paths also, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be Bill think. Okay, in order for this particular business or Ashtown, okay, so that there would be a lot of buses going there or passing there, so they were going to what? They were going to open more routes maybe. So therefore, the development, okay, or that Bill think is to develop a cycle paths, which is with in connection with letter C. Next, which area does Bill think most people are employed in?
Manufacturing.
No,
No, services.
it's education.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so it's education.
Mhm.
Now, yes. So it must mention then that education is the most actually people are employed in that particular area. Next, what changes have been made to the facilities? Choose 5 answers from the box and write the correct answer A to G next to the facilities 4 to 8.
Can we
Okay.
just keep the listening test?
Okay. So why is it you wanted to skip this? It's very important. Oh, never
Yes.
mind. Okay. I just have to tell you the answer so that you can have an idea. But just guess. Just try to guess. What do you think would be the correct answer? In number 4, railway station, it was mentioned there that the action should be letter G. It has been expanded.
Driveway.
Okay. Yes. What about the cinema?
The cinema. Um, Is the let no. Is the issue more technology than in the park?
No. Okay. So it should be moved to a new location.
Okay.
Okay. So it should be moved to a new location. What about the indoor market?
In the markets, it has been closed down.
It has been sold actually. Okay. So it has been sold to a different organization. And what about the library? It's more, there would be an internet, there would be a technology in there.
So
So it
it's had
changes.
is it less popular than it used to be? Letter
No,
E. No. Yes, I know that. Letter B.
letter C.
Yeah, letter C.
Technology. It uses more technology than in the past. Yeah, because it was mentioned in there laptops or tablets, okay, and then uses fast internet connection also. Okay, what about the art college? Actually, it was mentioned that this art college has been used for surgery, right? So what is that?
That's college.
It is used for different purpose. So that's letter B.
B.
Okay? Oh, that
Yes.
will be it, Koi, huh? So actually, it's difficult actually because you were able to hear them. What is one? Hear them spontaneously, right? Without stopping. Yeah, because in an IELTS exams, you don't need to stop them, right? So it should be you have to listen first. After listening, you have to answer the question. Okay? We're done. We're done with that. So we are going to do the speaking
Oh yes,
now.
speaking. Okay.
Yeah. So speaking, you have to improve also speaking, huh? So for
Yes.
the speaking activity, plan your long-term answers for speaking. So that means long answers at this time. Use the correct sequencing words to give your answer a clear structure and understand sentence stress when using sequencing words and deal with the follow-up questions after your long run. So that would be the objectives of the speaking part. Okay? Okay, let's try for the lead in Khoi. Sorry. Question number one. Ask and answer these questions with a partner. So I will be the one to ask you and answer me the question. Okay? Ready?
Ready.
Okay. What different places have you been to on holiday?
I want to mention go overseas. That when I was 10 years old, I used to go to Singapore, where I have experienced many different things and unique things. Like um, what we call some specific heritage of Singapore.
Oh.
I don't know the names. I know only one heritage is
Uh,
called Melian, the symbol of Singapore.
yeah, okay. And that would
Melian,
be
Melian.
Merlin?
Yes,
Berlin.
an animal symbol of Singapore.
Ah, okay.
Nah, I only remember that.
Yeah, okay. So you were what age during that time? 10 years old? You mentioned that one that you were
I'm
when you were
10 years
10
old.
years old. Oh, you're too young. How many days you spend there? You were there only for days? How many days you
Three
spent
days.
there?
It's
Three
actually
days.
three
So you
days.
just you just visit. Who with you? Who goes with you? Is it your
What?
family? Your whole family went there?
Yes, my whole family.
Ah, your whole family. Oh, that was a very nice experience, right? But you are too young during that time.
Yes.
Yes.
But I
So
think I'm
only,
lucky enough to went there.
yeah. So do you have plans to go back in there?
Not really. It's just one time.
Uh,
Oh, if you have time, you can go when visit. You can visit Singapore. It's really great place.
yeah, actually, but my dream destination, Koi, is not Singapore. That's not on my list. The first
Also,
is the first list. I already told you that one. It's New Zealand, right?
what you have been
New
to?
Zealand. No, I haven't there in New Zealand. Actually, I've been to Malaysia, Thailand, and Taiwan.
Oh,
Okay.
Taiwan.
Yeah,
Taiwan.
so we went already there in Taiwan, Thailand, and Malaysia. And then actually I was about to go to Vietnam during that time, Koi,
Oh,
but I wasn't able to go in Vietnam because there would be some unavoidable circumstances beyond control. So my boss doesn't want me to go in Vietnam anymore. So they go there, but me, I was left.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Next, have you ever been to a desert? What about a city break? Oh, let's try to answer first. Have you ever been to the desert? Desert like this, right?
Yeah. No, not really.
Not
But
okay.
actually, my rovings had one small light desert. It's just a
Oh,
road.
really?
Yeah, the sea of sun, but it's not the
Ah,
desert.
it's not going to be. It's just a small land,
Yes, for
so
about
small area.
with this I think it's about 5 or 10 kilometers square.
Oh, that would also be long. And what do you see there? It's just only sand, no plants. I can't hear you, Koi. What happened? What happened to your sound? I cannot hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there. Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
just. It's
yeah. Oh,
actually I have never been today because my flight is quite far from there. Because when I had
okay.
a chance, I definitely went to there.
But what about there? You cannot see plants in there, just like this one. A desert
Yes, yes,
actually.
like this one. There no flying,
Ah,
there no
it's
cartoons.
more on sandy, sand.
Yes, just suns.
Yeah, and then the sand is brown like this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a desert. Oh, there would be a desert in your country. Here in the Philippines, we don't have that. We
Oh,
don't have that. Purely mountains, seas, oceans. We do have that one, but we don't have a desert. Okay, what about a city break? Oh, of course, you're living in a city, so therefore you have a city break, right? Oh, no need to answer that. What kind of transport have you used during holidays in the past
mm,
in Vietnam?
in Vietnam,
What's the famous transport in Vietnam, boy?
motorbikes.
Ah, a motorbike.
Yes, it's the most it's the common
So what
transport. It's just
um do
yeah.
you what do you mean? There is a driver and then you can ride at the back of the motorbike. That's what you're saying? Or you are going to rent that motorbike and drive your own.
The second meaning.
Ah, so you can rent.
I can rent.
Yeah. When we say driving a motorbike as a means of transportation, Koi, but not as a means of, let's say, commuting. If you are commuting, but mostly people use motorbike. Am I right? So that is what you
Yes.
mean. Ah, okay. Okay. I thought that when you commute, you were going to ride on a motorbike. Then you can pay drive the driver. Okay, but it's not the thing because you have to buy your own motorbike and you need to drive that one. Okay. What about buses? Do you have buses also?
Yes, we do have a lot of. Yeah, we have all the transport that the world have, but the
Mm,
most common is motorbike.
motorbike. But that's
Yes,
with
more than 50% of transportation in Vietnam is motorbike.
ah, but within the city only, right?
Yes, only you cars on bicycle.
Yeah. Yeah, bicycle within the city. But what about in the province, going to the province? So that would be buses, right?
Mm, but they
Ah,
see not really. It's not really common. I think
oh,
it's only available in some
province.
transport system.
Yeah.
It's only for some only lime rotis.
Oh, o- okay. What about taxi koi? What about taxi
Yeah,
cab?
taxis.
Ah, there's
So
also
in
taxi.
city. Well, yeah.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, I asked that one. Why? Because we don't know. We wouldn't know, right? Because
Yes.
I have application in Vietnam. I applied as a teacher in Vietnam. That's why we wouldn't know, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, have you ever traveled anywhere alone, like
Mm,
international travel alone?
yes.
No.
No, I have never because I'm some kind because in my
Okay.
it's my parent rules I'm not strong enough to go anywhere alone, so
Yeah.
I have to went with my relatives or my friends.
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
and maybe there's some dangers around in outer worlds.
yeah, that's
Yes, I
correct.
have to be more careful.
But let me just tell you a little bit about my story when I was still as young as you. Okay, as young as you, 16, 17. Actually, I just what is one? I just lived by myself
Oh,
for 4 years. For 4 years, Koi. Yes, why? Because I am studying in a far place, in a far university, far from my place. So what I did was I just rent an apartment near the school. So I used to stay there for 4 years until such time that I finished college.
mm.
Imagine that, huh? At the age of 17, so I can travel alone. The travel time is 5 hours from our place.
Oh,
Yes, it's 5 hours from our place. So that's going to be a far place actually. But I can manage to live by myself for 4 years. Okay. Yeah, because our school is the university that I enrolled is quite far from our house. So that's the reason. Okay, anyway, that would be you are correct. There would be a lot of what is one dangers actually if you were going to live by yourself.
yeah. No,
Okay.
no. Anywhere by yourself.
Yeah, why? Because um I experienced once in my life there that I don't have money. I don't have
Oh,
money anymore because my parents wasn't yet send money for me.
oh,
Oh,
that's a
so
big problem.
that's a big problem actually. I don't have money to buy food.
Oh my gosh.
So what
I will
I
tell.
did
So how can you went through it?
Actually, what I did was I just go to my roommates and ask for them and lend them money.
Also, you
And
ask them to tie you over, right?
yes, actually they helped me also. And when my allowance came, I also paid for them or pay for them, right? It's just like that. It's just only you should have to learn how to we call that one as survival of the fittest, right? That means in order
Yes.
for you to survive, use your mouth, right? Use your mouth because that's a matter of life and death situation, right? If you will not
Yes.
going to borrow money from them, so what would happen to you? You will going to die, right?
Yes.
So that's my experience actually. Okay, anyway, let's go back in here, Koi. So preparing for speaking part two, there's also a listening part in here. So listen to the instructions the examiner gives at the start of the speaking part two and choose the correct answer. Okay, let's try to listen, huh? 38.
Track 38.
Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for between 1 to 2 minutes. You have 1 minute to think about your answer. Here's a piece of paper and a pencil for you to make some notes if you wish. All right? Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
Mhm. That's the way the speaking test goes like Koi.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in an IELTS. Okay. Okay, so that would be actually the actual speaking test in an IELTS exam. So the examiner will going to give you instruction, and then after the instruction, you will going to say, right? What did she said? She said you can choose the topic for speaking part two. Oh, the examiner will going to give you instruction, right?
Yes.
Okay, what's that instruction? Answer only. You have only 1 minute to make notes. Or you will be given also 1 minute to take
To
notes.
test no.
So the examiner will going to give you a topic to choose from. So that means it's very important that you should have to have a lot of ideas when it comes to the topic, not just only for one topic alone. So therefore, why is it this particular lesson is good? Because there would be a variety of topics, right?
Mm.
Because we don't know what would come out in the test. Okay? So again, the examiner will going to tell you, give you the topic that you want to speak. Okay, so that you can say it because you chose them. That means, hello, Koi. Hello.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay, there. Because you know that topic. Okay. Then after that, you will be given 1 minute for to take down notes. Okay. Then if you have lots of time to make notes, so it's good, okay? You should make notes on the paper provided. Oh, you have to take note of that, huh? The notes will be taken down to the paper provided for you. You are not allowed to use other paper aside from the one that they gave you. So you can make notes on the task card. The maximum time to talk is 2 minutes.
mm,
You can talk as long as you like.
okay.
Okay? You can stop talking if you have nothing to
To say
say. So you should keep talking until the examiner stops you. So that's the real speaking test
test.
in an IELTS. Okay? Okay. Let's
Okay.
proceed. Look at the tasks the examiner gave the students in exercise 2. It's in here, huh? Describe an exciting journey you once took. So in saying that one a koi, you should say when and where you went on the journey. Okay, like for example, uh, hmm, okay, what particular topic would you like to talk about?
Mm, I think I choose destroy a setting journey.
Okay, remember, huh? Describe an exciting journey you once took. Okay, like for example, you can choose the topic for speaking part two, right? And then
Yes.
once you took the topic already, so the examiner gave you the topic, after that, you have to describe an exciting journey you once took. And you are going to include in saying when and where you went on a journey, what kind of transport you used, and what happened on the journey. So that would be the possible format or order on how you are going to say that call. Okay? Again, the first one, when. So when you went on that particular journey, and where is that? So that means you have to mention first the date. You have to mention the place, and after that, you have to mention what kind of transport you used in going there, and then after that, you have to speak for uh, for what happened on that particular journey. So in this particular thing, what happened on that journey, you can say a lot of things in here. Okay. So
Oh,
this is what we call um, actually the body. Okay, wherein you can be able to talk about that one a lot. Okay, and after that, explain what you remember most about the journey. So
mm,
you need to have this particular order. After the order, what's the order? You have to mention when you went on that journey, where is that, what kind of transport you used, and what happened on that journey. And you can explain also what you remember most about your journey. Okay,
oh,
now there's a tip in here, Koi. The sections on the task card should usually be taken in order. So it reads like a real story where you set the scene in the beginning, then you give your options at the end, right?
yes.
Just like doing writing, right? There would be an introduction, there would be a body, and there would be a conclusion. So part of the conclusion would be your options. That would be at the end. Okay, Koi? Yeah.
I get it. Now let's
Uh-huh.
start. Oh, but I to mention that we have only have one more week to end this class.
Yeah. Okay. So we will just going to continue this one next Friday, right? And what is that date on Friday?
Now
That
we
would
have just for
be
three
March
hours.
3. Yeah, March 3, right?
Yes. So I had to
Yeah.
say goodbye for some reasons.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So,
No,
sorry
no,
for now. Yeah.
no. Oh, it's nothing. Goodbye. Anyways,
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
oh,
Bye-bye.
I feel sleepy now because I have lots of work to deal with now.
Yeah, okay. I understand that one. Okay. You don't have enough energy at this point in time. Okay? Bye-bye,
Yes.
Koy. See you on Friday. Bye-bye.
A good
Bye-bye.
night.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
I will to meet